Hi my lovely friends, today I'm going to show you how to make a lovely sandy bread. So today I'll be using this lovely sanding to make our lovely sandy bread. And this is the first live stream for Nigerian food recipes. So welcome to my lovely channel. So I'm going to get started straight away to weigh out my ingredient. So today I'll be using plain flour. So please remember to share, like, and subscribe, and of course, turn on the bell so you never miss any upload. So my name is Francis. So now, if we're making the sandy bread, we need plain flour, 500 grams. We need sugar, about 100 grams of sugar. We need yeast as well, and of course, some olive oil, a little bit of sea salt, a pinch, and of course, nutmeg with cold milk. So my friends, I'm gonna get started straight away. We also need our warm water. So I already made our lovely dough. So I'm gonna use that to make our lovely sandy bread. So I'm gonna show you how to make the dough from start to finish. We already have a dough made already because this is a live stream. I want it nice and quick. So I'm gonna make that straight away. Thank you very much, my friends. So let's get started now to make our lovely sandy bread. Lovely. So I need a bowl. I'm gonna weigh out my ingredients straight away. Lovely. So I need a bowl, and of course, I need a cold milk. So I'm gonna leave that in the fridge. So my friends, what I'm gonna do now, I'm gonna leave that out. I'm gonna get started straight away to roll out my dough. I'm gonna knead my dough and pop in my sardines. So that's our lovely dough already risen. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna quickly look at that amazing, lovely dough. So I'm gonna quickly pop in my sardines right in there. Amazing, lovely. Look at that, nice and big. So my friends, what I'm gonna do now, I'm gonna quickly pop that on the board, pop that on the table. Lovely. That's it, my friends. So now what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna give it a few taps. Amazing, lovely. So now, my friends, what I'm gonna do now, I have my lovely sardines. So I'm gonna pop that into a bowl, and you can use sardines in sunflower oil, or you can use the one in tomato sauce. So I'm using the one in tomato sauce. That's alright. So I'm gonna mash that nice and quick. So now, my friends, I'm gonna spread that I'm going to spread the sardines all over the bread. Look at that, amazing, lovely. Spread that all over. So now what I'm going to do, I'm going to quickly, you know, do it like that. Seal up the edges. Now I got my dough sealed up. So the sardines are all, you can see the sardines are everywhere. You know what I mean, my friends? Lovely. Look at that. Amazing. So now what I'm going to do, I'm going to quickly rub in butter into my lovely pan. So I'm going to pop in the butter, you know, into the pan. That's my bread pan. It's going to be a nice and lovely sandwich bread. Lovely sardines. I love sardine breads. Sardine bread, very nice, you know. So I'm gonna pop the bread dough into this lovely bread pan. So I'll leave that there. Set that aside. So I have a lovely, this is an oval shape, lovely oval shape. You can see it's sealed. So now I'm going to quickly pop that into this lovely pan. Then I'm going to leave that to double in size again. So I'm going to leave that to double in size. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to pop that into I could just, you know, pop some of the fish on top, just like that, you know, to make it nice and lovely. So and of course I'm going to sprinkle a little bit of olive oil to make it nice and shiny. So I have some olive oil to make it nice and shiny. Look at that, amazing, lovely. More olive oil. Make it nice and shiny. Look at that, amazing. So now, my friends, I'm going to leave that to double in size. So once it's doubled, I'm going to pop that into our lovely oven. And of course, I'm going to get started to bake this lovely sardine bread. So now, my friends, what I'm going to set that aside. I could just pop that in the oven, but the oven is not on, to make it nice and warm so the yeast could be activated. So that's a nice and warm place. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to show you quickly how to weigh out the ingredients, and of course how to get started to make our lovely bread. So now, my friends, what I'm going to do, So if you're just joining this live stream, please share, like, and subscribe, and of course turn on the bell so you never miss any upload. So my friends, my name is Francis, and this is Nigerian food recipes. So welcome to our lovely channel. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to weigh out my ingredient. So we said today I'm making the lovely, Nigerian sandy bread. So this is a lovely Nigerian food, and of course it's going to be nice and hot. And I pop the sardines into the lovely, dough. So I already did that earlier on because this is a live stream. I want it nice and quick, and of course that's why I already made my dough. I made my dough, and of course, I made it nice and flat, and of course I pop in our lovely sardines into the lovely flattened dough. So now I'm going to show you how to make the dough from start to finish. So while that is doubling in size, in the next 20 minutes, I'm going to get started to bake our lovely sandy bread. And of course, I'll be working on that one. And before the dough is ready, I'll be done with that. So now I'm going to show you how I made that lovely dough I used in making our lovely fish bread. So my friends, I'm going to weigh out 300 grams of flour. That should be alright. 300 grams of flour for that particular size of you could use 250 grams, but 300 grams is alright. So I'm going to weigh that out straight away. Lovely. So I need 300 grams of plain flour. So that's 300 grams of plain flour. So now what I'm going to do, I'm going to pop in a little bit of, or let me just leave that, set it aside, then activate my yeast. I need to activate my yeast. So I'm going to quickly, let me get a bowl. I'm going to quickly activate my yeast straight away. Excuse me. So now, I need warm water. So I'm going to pop with the warm water straight away into this lovely bowl. And of course, I'm going to pop in my yeast straight into this lovely bowl. So I have my yeast right into this lovely bowl. So now, what I'm going to do, I'm going to quickly mix the yeast and warm water together. I'm going to activate that straight away. You don't want to use hot water, in mixing your yeast. You want it nice and warm. You just dip your finger. If it's warm, that's alright. So that's my yeast. So I'm activating my yeast right now. Lovely. So my friends, what I'm going to do now, I'm going to pop in our lovely yeast into this lovely flour straight away. Lovely. So now I'm going to pop a little bit of sea salt, just a pinch, into this lovely flour. Just pop that in. Lovely. So I'm going to put that away. I don't need anymore, my friends. Lovely. So now what I'm going to do, let me put that back in the fridge. So I got my sea salt into this lovely flour. And what next? I'm going to pop in sugar. I need about 100 grams of sugar straight away. So I'm going to weigh that out. Lovely. Yeah, we should use 60 grams of sugar is alright. 60. You don't want it too much. Too much of sugar, not good for bread. So 60 grams is alright. So I got 60 grams of sugar, and of course I'm gonna pop in nutmeg. I got half tablespoon of nutmeg. That's it. Amazing. I'm gonna put that away. I don't need anymore, my friends. Now, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna quickly mix my lovely flour, nutmeg, and salt in this bowl. And of course, I'm gonna make it well in the middle. Let me check what's going on. Let me see how the bread is like. It is almost ready. Yeah, we'll give it some time. It's still, rising. So now I'm gonna mix everything together. And of course, I'm gonna make it well in the middle. And of course, I'm gonna pop in my yeast right in here. And I'm gonna mix everything together. And of course, I need milk. So now, my friends, I'm gonna pop in a little bit of milk, about 50 mils, 50 grams. Set that aside. I'll put that away, I don't need anymore. Lovely. So now, my friends, I'm gonna mix everything together straight away. Lovely. So now, my friends, I have our flour mixed together with milk. So I need to pop in some olive oil. So it's a little bit sticky. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to just pop in a little bit of flour. That's alright. Lovely. So I'll keep kneading that. Keep kneading that in the bowl. So it's nice and soft now. Nice and soft now. So I'm going to pop in a little bit of olive oil again. You can see that. You can see. So what I'm going to do now, I have my lovely dough ready. So I'm going to knead that on the work surface. I'm going to knead that for about 10 minutes. We want it nice and smooth. So for about 10 minutes, I'm going to knead that straight away. Lovely. So I'm going to beat that on the table. I want it nice and smooth, my friends. Amazing. Look at that. Lovely. So I'll keep kneading that nice and quick. Put a little bit of flour, knead a little bit of flour. We want it nice and smooth. And of course I'm going to stretch out the dough a little bit. You don't want to stretch too much. I'll stretch it out like that. Stretch the dough. And of course, knead the dough. Lovely. So I'm activating the yeast. So when I beat it on the table, just like that, the dough rises quickly and the yeast keeps activating. You know what I mean, my friends? Lovely. We keep doing that for about 10 minutes. We want a nice and smooth ball of dough. We need to do that for about 10 minutes. Lovely. So, I'll just sprinkle a little bit of flour again. That should be alright. Remember, I'm using plain flour, not the self-raising one. I have my yeast right in there. It's known as the all-purpose flour as well. In the US, all-purpose flour. So it's called plain flour in the UK. So I'll keep beating that. So I'll stop beating that in the next 2 minutes, and I'll pop that in the lovely bowl. It's almost ready. You can see it's a nice and smooth ball of dough. Lovely. So now my friends, what I'm going to do, I'm going to copy a little bit of olive oil on the work surface. Now we have a nice small, nice smooth ball of dough. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to quickly, that's my ball of dough, nice and round. You can see it's a lovely nice ball of dough. Look at that, amazing, lovely. So I'm going to pop that into my lovely bowl. Look at that, a little bit of olive oil. So I'll leave that to rest, to double in size. So that's the dough right in there. So now I'll cover that with a clean film and of course clean my work surface. So I'm going to clean my work surface quickly before baking the bread. So I'll make I'll use that dough, the one I just made now, to make the bread rolls. I'll be making the bread roll with that. So you can see how to make a bread roll, sandy bread rolls. So while that is cooking, I'll be making the bread rolls. So my friends, will have that nice and clean. I'll be right back in just a second. Thank you. So my friends are right back. So I'm going to check the bread to see what's going on. It should be all right now. You can see the bread is getting to the top. Look at that, amazing, lovely. So my friends, I'm going to pop that back and give it another 5 minutes. So I'm going to give that 5 minutes, and in 5 minutes what I'm going to do, I'm going to preheat my oven and of course get started to bake my lovely bread. So my friends, if this is your first time watching this lovely channel, this is Nigerian food recipes. Please subscribe, share, like, and of course turn on the bell so you never miss any upload and any live stream from Nigerian food recipes. You can also subscribe to the Nigerian to Cook with Chef Francis for yummy dishes around the world. We also make more banks, so we have the Nigerian food as well, African food more bank. Keep watching every day, my friends. Lovely dishes around the world. If you want to learn how to make that, you can also watch Cook with Chef Francis channel. So I said, my name is Francis. Welcome back to my lovely channel. So I said today I'm making the first live stream for this lovely Nigerian food recipes. So today I said I'm making Nigerian sandy bread, and of course the dough is right there in the oven, but my oven is not on, just in the warm place to keep it nice and warm. So it's gonna be ready in the next 5 minutes. So I'm gonna get started to bake the bread. So I'm gonna preheat my oven before baking it. And of course, my friends, I'm gonna show you the one I made earlier on. That's the dough. So I'm gonna wrap that with cling film and pop it in the oven as well. So we'll just wrap that straight away. So I'll leave that to double in size. So my friends, our bread is almost ready. So I'll get started to bake the bread. It's gonna take about let's say about 20-25 minutes to bake. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna preheat my oven straight away while we wait, for our dough to double in size. So I'm gonna preheat that straight away. That's our lovely dough. It's nice and big. You can see it's already doubled. So I'm gonna leave that in the one place. That's nice and warm. So I'm gonna preheat my oven straight away. I'll be using that for the bread rolls. I'm gonna keep that there. I can leave that. So now, my friends, so what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna preheat my oven straight away. Lovely. Remember to preheat your oven before baking your bread, because if you don't preheat the oven, the bread will fall flat in the oven. So we need to preheat the oven before, you know, baking our bread. So you can see, look at that. So I'm going to bake that in just a second. Lovely. So the sardines are inside, and of course it's right there on the top as well. So my friends, I've preheated my oven to about 190 degrees, Celsius. So I'll be baking for about 20 to 25 minutes. So I'm gonna get started to bake that bread in the next 5 minutes. That bread is gonna get into the oven. So I'm gonna bake the bread straight away, and of course I'll carry on with that one. I'll be making a sanding bread roast, but I'm gonna be showing you, if you don't like sardines, you can use different type of fish. I'll be using tuna, not tuna. I'll be using salmon. So you can use any salmon you like. I'll be using the eye socket one. That's the pink salmon. So that's the white socket one. So white socket eyes. So if you use your favorite fish, I've used a sardine, but I'm gonna use that one for the bread roast. So, but sardines are my favorite. It has a unique aroma. So that's the sardine one, and I'm gonna be making that one as well. So what I'm gonna do. That has skin and bones. I'm going to check if the other one has the bone. The pink one. Get rid of the bones. That's alright. So my friends, I'm going to pop this lovely bread in the oven in the next 2 minutes. So I'm going to tell you the recipes again. I have my dough, trying to get doubled. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to tell you what I did. I used 300 grams of plain flour, 50 grams of sugar. You can use 60 grams, it's up to you, but like 50 is alright, 50 to 60. You don't want to put too much sugar in the sardine bread. Of course, you can bake your bread without sugar, that's alright. So just a little bit of sugar, 2 tablespoons, 3 tablespoons, that's alright, my friends, 50 to 60 grams. So I have 300 grams of plain flour, and of course I have 50 grams of sugar right in there. And of course, I pop in a bit of sea salt, just a pinch, into the lovely flour. And of course, I pop in nutmeg, half tablespoon. So nutmeg, half tablespoon, that's alright. And of course, I mix everything together. I set it aside. And of course, I pop in my warm water into a lovely bowl. You can use about 100 grams of warm water. Mix it with 7 grams of yeast, 1 sachet. Just 1 sachet is alright. Just mix them together. You can use a dry yeast, you can use a fresh yeast. Actually, I use the dry yeast, you can use the fresh one, that's alright. And of course, I mix the yeast and water, warm water together. I needed to activate the yeast. So if your warm water, you need to dip your hand. If you dip your hand into the water, it's nice and warm. But if it's hot, do not use it because it's going to kill the yeast. So what I did, I made a well in the dry ingredients, and of course I pop in the yeast and warm water into the flour mixture, and of course I mix them together and pop in cold milk. So I use 50 grams of cold milk, mix them together, and I got a nice and soft ball of dough, non-sticky ball of dough, but nice and soft. And I kept kneading that lovely dough for about 10 minutes. You keep kneading, and when you keep kneading that, you get a lovely, nice and smooth ball of dough. So that's what I did, my friends. And after kneading for 10 minutes, remember, my friends, I kneaded with flour and olive oil. So after kneading with flour and olive oil, I made a ball of dough and popped that into this lovely bowl. So it's still, trying to double in size, rising. So I'll still leave that aside. So now, my friends, you can see our lovely bread is nice and big. Look at that. It's nice and big. So now what I'm going to do, I'm going to pop this lovely, nice and big bread dough. Of course, you can see the sandings all over it. I'm going to pop that straight into the oven, and I'm going to bake that for about 20 to 25 minutes at 190 degrees Celsius. At 190 degrees centigrade, 20 to 25 minutes, our lovely sandy bread is ready. So let's do that, my friend. Let's get started straight away into our nice and warm oven. So our oven is already preheated, so I'm going to pop that straight away into the lovely oven. Amazing. So now, my friends, we're going to take that into the oven. So now the bread is going to the oven. So I'm going to open my oven. It's nice and warm. And of course, I'm going to pop the bread into this lovely, nice and warm oven. You can see that it's getting in. And of course, I'm going to shut the door straight away. Lovely. Look at that. Amazing. You can see, my friends, that's the gas mark. So I set that already to about 20 to 25 minutes. And of course, that's 190. You don't want it to get burnt. So that's it, my friends. Lovely. So now what I'm going to do, I'm going to check the other ball of dough to see what's going on, if it's ready. So now, my friends, we have our bread baking in the oven. It's right there in the oven. So we don't need to open the oven until our bread is almost ready. So we want it nice and brown on top, and of course we want our bread nice and hollow. So when we tap on it sound hollow. We want it nice and soft, nice and brown, nice and sweet, my friends. Our lovely bread, we want it like that. So my friends, thanks for joining our live stream. So as I said, this is Nigerian food recipes. So I'm making my first live stream, and of course our first live stream is about making a sanding bread. So my friends, our bread is baking in the oven. I just popped that in the oven, but I'm going to show you how to make the bread rolls. So I still have that still rising, so I'll leave that there. So So my friends, remember how I made the lovely sandy bread? What I did, I weigh out the flour. I said I'm using plain flour, so I weigh that out. And of course, my friends, after weighing that out, I set that aside. And of course, what next did I do? I weighed out my sugar. So I weighed out about 50 grams of sugar. You can use 3 tablespoons. That's alright, my friends. You don't want to pop too much sugar in the flour. And of course, my friends, what I did again was to weigh out, you know, already weigh out the flour, sugar. So nutmeg, I just pop in about half tablespoon, my friends. Just half tablespoon, that's alright. Lovely. And of course, remember in the dry ingredient, which is the flour, I pop in nutmeg. I pop in nutmeg, half tablespoon in the flour, and of course, I pop in a pinch of sea salt and about 50 grams of sugar. I mix everything together. That's what I did, and I set that aside. And of course, my friends, I set that aside. Then I have the warm water. What I did, I pop the warm water into the bowl and mix that with one sachet of yeast. Just one sachet. That's what I did. I mix that together to activate the yeast. So when the yeast was activated, I pop that into the flour mixture. I mix that together. Then I brought out my cold milk from the fridge, and I pop that into about 50 grams of cold milk into the lovely flour mixture, and mix everything together. So after mixing, what I did was to knead the dough on my work surface. I kneaded that with a little bit of flour and a little bit of olive oil. I did that for about 10 minutes to activate the yeast more and more, and finally we got a very nice activated ball of dough. The yeast is very active at that moment, and of course the ball of dough was actually nice and big, nice and soft, nice and round, and of course that is exactly what we're looking for when you're making a bread dough. So the same method I use in making the sanding bread is the same method you use in making most bread doughs, Now except from your sourdough, you wanna stretch that, you wanna keep stretching down. So you can check out my videos, at Cook with Chef Francis channel, how to make artisan bread, sourdough bread, how they made focaccia and the rest. So I have lots of bread playlists. I have a bread playlist, so you can check that out and you can see. So my friends, this is Nigerian food recipes. Support this channel, my friends. Keep watching every day. Share, like, and of course, my friends, keep watching every day. So our Sunday bread is in the oven, and in a couple of minutes, should be ready in a couple of minutes. And I'll keep an eye on that. Yeah, it's almost rising, it keeps rising. So I said, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna use that for the bread roast. So I'm gonna open that straight away with the opener. So let's see how it is. So, be with olive oil. Apply. A little bit juicy. Alright, so now that's open. That's open now. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to put that. I believe that should be in oil. No, that's just in water. So that's the fish. As I said, I already use my sanding to make my lovely sandy bread. So now I want to try using another type of fish. I want to use salmon this time around. That's a bonus. So I'm using salmon as a bonus. So I'm going to debone that. Take the bone off. It came with a bone, so I'll debone that straight away. So it's nice and soft. Love it, this. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to pop in a little bit of olive oil into the fish. I want it nice and big. So I'm using lots of sardines, lots of fish. That should be sweet now. Lovely. So I'm going to keep an eye on that lovely bread. Our lovely bread is already nice and big, so we just need it to keep cooking. You know, it needs to keep cooking, and of course we want it nice and brown on top but cooked inside, and we don't want to disturb the oven, because if I open the oven the bread could fall. So we're going to leave it like that to keep cooking, and of course in the next 5 minutes I'm going to work on that. It's almost doubling in size. Let's give that 10 minutes. So in 10 minutes that should be ready. So in the next 30 to 35 minutes we'll be done with the lovely live stream. So our bread is keep cooking. We still have about 15 minutes for that one. Then I'm gonna quickly make that one and pop it in there. Of course, our sandy bread, we cannot rush to eat our bread like that. We don't want to eat it when it's hot. We want to allow it to cool. When you make a bread, you need to allow the bread to cool. When it cools down, then it becomes, you know, very nice, to enjoy. So when it cools down, the yeast cools down as well. But if it's still hot, the yeast is still working as well. So you want the yeast to stop activating. So allow it to cool down and you enjoy it. So my friends, this is Nigerian food recipes. I have 2 channels. This is my second channel, Nigerian food recipe. Check out my first channel, which is Cook with Chef Francis. I cook yummy dishes around the world. You can check that out, and of course I make more buns. So my friends, as I said earlier on what I did, I'm going to carry on explaining what I did. I said I brought out the dough when the dough was doubled in size. I brought it out, flattened the dough, and I popped in my lovely sandwiches right there in the middle, and I spread out all over. Then I folded the bread, because at that very stage we need to be careful, because if we rush it, the bread is going to tear, and of course the sandwich could ruin the bread dough. So what I normally do, I flatten that and I pop that in the middle, spread that out, and of course fold the bread in half, seal up the edges, and give it a nice oval shape. And of course, my friend, when you have a nice oval shape, you can pop that in a grease bowl. I beg your pardon. You can pop that in a grease or oil baking pan, in bread pan. So when you pop that, do not cover, leave that open, and keep it in one place to double in size again. That's what I did. And make sure your oven is preheated, because if your oven is not hot, if it's not nice and hot, the bread is going to fall flat. Make it nice and hot, pop it in there for about 20 to 25 minutes at 190, and after 20-25 minutes, believe me, you have a nice, lovely, sweet, golden brown sandy bread. So my friends, I said, because this is a live stream, I don't want to rush it, and of course I don't want to waste my viewers' time. So what I did, I already made the dough earlier on, and that's what I did. Then right at that moment, I was making another bread dough to show my viewers how it's being done from start to finish. So that's the bread dough, still working. So what I'm going to do, in the next 5 minutes, I'm going to pop in my fish fry in there, and of course make some bread rolls. I'm going to make a lovely sandy bread rolls, and of course I'm going to bake that in the oven. It's going to be nice and quick, and it's going to be nice and ready. So now, my friends, I'm going to check what's going on to see if it's ready or not, but I believe it's almost ready. So I'm gonna use a skewer, so you can use a stick just to check, if it's ready or not. So that's what I'm gonna do. So I'm gonna give that the next 5 minutes. You can see it's almost ready. In 5 minutes, I'm gonna quickly, work on that. Lovely. So my friends, I'm back. So I'm gonna check the oven to see what's going on. Lovely. So our bread is almost ready. So what I'm gonna do now, I'm gonna quickly, work on the next one. So we got our lovely ball of dough ready. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna line my baking tray with baking paper straight away. Lovely. So I have a baking paper right here. So I'm gonna quickly line that with baking paper straight away. Lovely. That's my baking paper. So I line that with baking paper straight away. Lovely. So now, my friends, what I'm going to do, I'm going to sprinkle a little bit of olive oil. Anyway, I don't need to be that, so what I'm going to do, I need some olive oil. Just put that in the bowl. Then I'm going to cut. You can see nice and soft. Look at the dough, nice and soft. That's what we want. So what I'm going to do, I'll do that bit by bit, Spread out like that. Exactly what I did earlier on. So just like that. I'm gonna pop in my fish. So I'm making a bread roll, my friends. So we're making a bread roll, and of course, like that, in half, and like that. Just like that, my friends. You can see that. And of course, you roll that like that. And we have a bread roll. Nice and round, nice and soft. Look at that. The fish is right sealed in there. Sealed in there. So you can just cut it like that. Amazing. Look at that. Look at that. Amazing, lovely. So I'm going to pop that on the tray. Lovely. We need to space that out. You can put them close to each other, that's alright, no problem. So now, that's it. Just like that. Pop that in the middle. Lovely. So that's how to make the bread rolls. So we can make bigger ones, just like that. It's lovely with olive oil. So I'm going to put that away. I don't need anymore, my friends. Lovely. So now we have nice and flat bread rolls. Now I can pop in my fish straight away. Lovely. Amazing. So my friends, I'm gonna make a lovely nice ball, just like that. So that's how to make your fish bread. That's a bonus with salmon. So I have a lovely bread roll. Amazing. Look at that. Amazing. Lovely. So I'm going to leave that to double in size again, nice and soft. To patch that. Use that all at the bottom. That one. So, my friends, we have our lovely bread rolls. So, I'll leave that to double in size again, and after that, I'm going to bake that straight in the oven. Lovely. So, I'm going to put that away. I don't need it anymore, my friends. Lovely. I don't need the milk anymore. The olive oil, I don't need that anymore. Put that away. Lovely. And of course, my friends, I don't need flour anymore, so I'm going to put that away straight away. Lovely. So I'm gonna wash my hand. I'll be right back. All we need to do is to check on our bread. So my friends, I'm gonna check my bread now. Should be ready. So I'm gonna insert my lovely skewer into the lovely bread. Should be way lovely. So our bread looks ready. I'll bring that out and insert the skewer again. So I think we'll cook that for about 25 minutes. So my friends, you can bake your bread for 20 to 25 minutes. You can use 180 or 190 degrees centigrade. That's alright. So my friends, welcome back to Nigerian food recipes, and I have a lovely sandy bread rolls right here. So we have that, and of course, my friends, we leave that to double in size. So I'm going to put that close to the heat. It's already double in size. Just leave that there, and of course, I'm going to check my bread right now to see if it's ready. So I'm going to bring that out from the oven straight away. Lovely. So I'm going to quickly check what's going on. It should be ready. So that's the bread. It's nice and brown. The bread is ready. So I'm going to insert the skewer. When it comes out clean, then it's ready. You can see it comes out clean. It's not sticky. Try that side. Clean. Everywhere is nice and clean. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to leave that to cool down, because we don't want to cut the bread when it's hot. We want it to cool down before serving. So now, my friends, what I'm going to do, you can see the bread rolls are almost double in size. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to pop that straight into the oven and bake it for about 10 minutes. In 10 minutes, this lovely bread is going to be ready. So we're going to end our live stream in the next 15 minutes. So my friends, that's the nice and big sandy bread we're talking about. So really nice and big. So what I just need to do is to you know, you can see it's nice and hard on top. You see crusty and nice and soft inside. Of course, when it cools down, we're gonna take it out from the can, from the pan. Once you take that out from the pan, we're gonna slice it in half to see how it came out. Lovely sandy bread. So we don't want to rush it. We don't want to destroy the bread. We want to leave it like that. So we're gonna cut the bread and enjoy it. It looks absolutely amazing, you know, to make a lovely bread, lovely fish bread. So we love fish. Uh, that's why I'm making this fish bread. So you can see it's nice and brown on top, and you can see the lovely fish in there. So when I cut that, you're gonna see what I mean. The fish is just right in there. Amazing. So my friends, we're gonna wait for the bread rolls while that is cooking. I'm gonna pop that on the chopping board. I'm gonna cut that in half, and I'm gonna show you how it came out. So my friends, for the last time, I'm gonna explain how I made that. But if you're not joining this live stream, please rewatch the live stream from start to finish, so you can see how I made the sandy bread from start to finish. So, but for now, I'm gonna explain again how I made this lovely bread, and of course, in the next 5 minutes, I'll get that out from the oven, and I'm gonna show you how the bread came out as well. So now, this is the lovely sandy bread I made in the morning, and of course, my friends, this is a Nigerian sandy bread, a Nigerian food, is an African food. So now I'm gonna tell you how I did it. So what I did, I weighed out my flour, but initially I already made a dough, you know, to make the live stream nice and quick. I made a dough initially, and when I get started, what I did, I popped the dough. The double dough is risen already. I popped that on the work surface, and I greased that with olive oil. And what I did, I flattened the dough with my hand, nice and round, and of course I pop in one tin of sanding, one can of sanding. I pop that in. I have to mash that in a bowl, and I pop the mashed sandings in the middle, spread it all over, fold the dough in half. After folding the dough in half, what I did, you know, was to make oval shape. And of course, before that time, I already greased this lovely pan, and I popped it into the grease or butter bread pan. I left that to double in size for about 20 minutes. And in about 20 minutes, it became doubled again. It was just right here, and in 20 minutes, it's already there. It's already there. So what I did, you don't want to overproof it. You don't want to overproof your bread. If you overproof your bread, it's going to grow big and fall flat. So we don't want to do that. So we want to prove it until it doubles, and we put in the oven, the yeast stop cooking in the oven. So my friends, what I did was to make oval shape of the bread, and I popped that into the buttered pan, and I let that double in size for about 20 minutes. And of course, I preheated my oven to 190 degrees Celsius at 25 minutes, and pop that in the oven, and I bake that for about 25 minutes. Now the bread is ready. So what did I do initially from the very beginning was to weigh out my flour, because I have a sandy bread dough in the oven. So I weigh out the flour. After weighing out the flour, what I did again was to weigh out my sugar. So my flour was 300 grams, sugar 50 grams, and of course, my friends, 50 grams of sugar. I pop that in the flour, mix that together, and I pop about half tablespoon of nutmeg, mix everything together, pinch of salt, mix that together, and of course, uh, I took my warm water, you know, and my warm water, I made that uh, nice and warm. I pop my fingers in there, and of course, pop in my yeast, mix that together, and my yeast was alright. I have to activate my yeast. So after activating the yeast, what I did was to quickly pop the mixture into the flour mixture, mix everything together, and of course, eventually, I had a uh, lovely dough mixture, and I pop in milk, I pop in about 50 grams of cold milk, mix everything together, I have a ball of dough. And what I did was to and pop the ball of dough on the work surface. I needed that for about 10 minutes. And when it was nice and round, I popped that in a grease bowl, and I let that to proof it up in size for about 30 minutes. So my friends, I'm gonna cut the bread in half. The bread is almost ready now. So what I'm gonna get a chopping board. So we're gonna end the live stream in 10 minutes. So I'll flip that over straight away. Lovely. Look at that. Amazing. Look at the bread. Nice and lovely. Look at that. Lovely sounding bread. Lovely. Look at that amazing recipe. Look at that. Look at that. Lovely. So I'm going to pop that on the chopping board. Look at that amazing, lovely bread. Amazing recipe. So that's the lovely sandy bread. Look at that. Now I'm going to show you again. Look at that. Lovely. Look at that. Look at that, my friends. Amazing. Amazing. Lovely. Look at the sandwich all over it. Look at that. So I'm going to cut that in half. It's still hot. So I'm going to cut that in half very soon. In the next 5 minutes, I'm going to cut that in half. And I'm going to check on the round bread. So of course, when you cook something, you need to try it. So I'm going to try it, and I'm going to show you how it came out. Amazing recipe. Lovely. So our bread rolls are still cooking. So what I'm going to quickly, it's still hot. I want it nice and cold. So I'll be right back. Let's give it 2 minutes to chill down. And we're going to cut the bread in half. Lovely. Lovely sandy bread. Amazing. So my friends, our bread is still cooking, it's almost ready. So my friends, what I'm gonna do now, I'm gonna cut the bread in half. So I'm gonna show you how it came out. Lovely. Well, what I'm gonna do, uh, I'm gonna cut that because this is nice and cut that in slices. So I'm gonna slice that from here. So I'm gonna cut, I'm gonna put some, prevent that from moving. Put that underneath. So you see, my friends, look at that. Look at that. You can see I use Sandines tomato sauce. Look at that, nice and soft. It's a little bit hot, but because I'm making a live stream, that's why I have to slice the bread. But you need to allow it to cool down. I don't want to rush it, but you can see nice and soft. Look at that. Nice and soft bread. Nice and soft. Look at that. Nice and soft. So my friends, I'm going to try this lovely bread now. And of course, once I try that, I'm going to remove the bread rolls from the oven. And of course, I'm going to try that as well. This is a lovely sandy bread. Same way they make it in Italy, Nigeria, anywhere in the world. Same process, lovely. So now I'm going to show you. So I'm going to try that straight away, lovely. Lovely sandy bread. Look at that. Amazing. Amazing recipe, my friends. Now a big bite. When you put it sweet, you want to have a big bite, Lovely thin slice, Nice and thin. Just like a sliced bread. Look at the sanding all over it. Lovely. Amazing. Lovely. So my friends, I'm going to cut one more slice to show you that this is a lovely serving bread. One more slice, my friends. So I'm making a thin slice. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. Amazing. Look at that. You can see that. I'm going to cut more slices. I'll keep slicing. Thin slices. It's still hot, but if it's cold, you're gonna enjoy the slices. So we leave it like that. Leave it like that. So we don't want to cut too much. So we have some slices ready. So that's the slices. You can see that. The sandwiches are all right. Amazing recipe. Lovely. So my friends, I'm gonna check that out. The one in the oven, the bread roast, and I'm gonna pop it on this lovely work surface. So our bread is ready. We have our bread roast ready. Lovely. So that's the bread roast. So they are nice and ready. That's it. Look at that. Amazing, lovely. So my friends, thank you very much for watching the Nigerian Food Recipes channel. Remember, I have another channel, Cooking Chef Francis. You can check that out. Please subscribe to that channel. Watch my playlists, my videos. Also subscribe to this channel. Watch the playlists and the videos. And if you miss out the live stream from the beginning, please rewatch the live stream. And now I made this lovely sandwich bread from start to finish. Share on social media, give it a like, keep watching every day. So this is the lovely sandwich bread. Give it a try, follow the recipes, and of course, you can enjoy. I will leave the recipes on the description section of my channel. Thank you very much. So I'll see you next time for another interesting live stream. Keep watching every day. Lovely. I'll see you next time. My name is Francis. I'll see you next time on this lovely Nigerian Food Recipe channel. Bye bye. Cheers. Lovely.